Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jeff the Pharmacist. I wanted to talk about an issue that comes up, and it's an issue that's important to me because I try to get people out the door as quickly as possible because I'm a customer and I hate waiting for things. I do it very patiently, politely, and I'm very friendly, but I don't like doing it because my time is finite and all of our time is finite here and on Earth, so I try to maximize it. So the truth of the matter is if I have to fill your prescription, if you hand me a piece of paper with a prescription on it, that might take me 5 minutes. If it's just a refill, that might take me 2 minutes. But what really kind of throws adds a lot of time to the process are I jotted down about 7 things. So the first is when customers or patients come up with a question. So they could ask any question they want. I have a lot of people come up to me and they just want to shoot the breeze, which is fine if I'm not busy, but sometimes I'm busy and that trying to politely exit a conversation can take 10 minutes. So there you go. So we're taking 5 minutes. We've already added 10 minutes. A lot of time patients want to know where a product is, and I'll usually go out and show them. Sometimes they'll ask me where a product is that it's not even health related, and usually I'll direct them in the right direction or show them to somebody who can. But all that stuff takes a lot of time. And we get an incredible amount of phone calls, and if you have to answer a phone call, that can take another 5 or 10 minutes. And unless you have a really large staff of people to answer phone calls, that can add time. And then a lot of times the person won't deal with anybody but the star of the show, which would be me. Another thing that kind of adds to the amount of time that you have to wait for your prescription is the people that sort of like just stand there. And so you could have you're working on 3 different prescriptions, and then somebody brings in a prescription and they sort of just stand there. Pharmacists generally hate this. I hate it. But kind of what you want to do is just get rid of them, and so you work on their problem first because you can't really focus on filling the other prescriptions safely if they're just staring at you. So that's one reason why the prescriptions can take longer. Insurance is getting more complicated, so when we run a claim, we don't really determine cost most of the time. I mean, if you're paying cash, then we have some tricks, which I discussed in my last video on how to reduce that for you. But if you're going through the insurance company, if there's an issue and what happens is they send back a rejection, and if you get that rejection and it doesn't make any sense, you sometimes have to call, and if you've ever called your insurance company, that can take 20 minutes. I could be on hold for 20 minutes, and that can kind of snowball through all the other tasks that we have to do. Another issue that's in pharmacy really is the staffing levels. So insurance reimbursements have trended down for the last 40 years. So as they trim the amount of money that they're paying the pharmacy, then the staffing level goes down to try and keep the amount of profit that the business is making the same. So a lot of pharmacies don't even turn a profit. So another thing is if your doctor is always in a hurry, just like your pharmacist. So they'll write out a prescription and they'll make a mistake on it. it could be something simple as like a date, and you have to call them and make sure it's dated. It could be the directions don't make any sense. It could be like the directions are super weird and really high. Like I got a prescription once. The lady was waiting, and it was for a whole bottle of 30 count high dose steroids, and it was one bottle every day, taken in the morning. And things like that just throw you for a loop, and you have to call everybody. You have to call the supervisor, call your colleagues, and call the doctor and make sure it's something that would be considered safe. And that took me probably an hour. I was working on one problem. And the other thing I see mostly with like kids and young adults, 19, 20s, early 20s, is they show up and they don't have like any insurance information. They just give you a prescription. They expect magic to happen. And so you have to like drop everything for them and call the last pharmacy they went to. If that doesn't work, call their insurance, or because the point really, I mean, we're pharmacists and we're professionals, but at the same time, we're in a customer service job, and the customer recognizes when you go out of your way, and it also doesn't feel good as an employee to have disappointed people walking away all the time. So we really try to go out of our way, even if it takes a little bit of extra time and it slows everybody else's prescriptions down. We just do that because it's kind of the right thing to do. I mean, we can you can have somebody not have their insurance. You really need to work with them, and if you don't, then maybe you've lost a customer. And the last thing really, and this doesn't happen that much, it's occasionally it's if the prescription has a safety issue, like I mentioned before with the 30 tablets. There's a lot of like interactions with drugs, and we kind of have to make a professional decision, and sometimes it's kind of on the line, or you want to get the doctor's take on it. That can, calling your doctor's office, that could be like the next day or the next 2 days. So I mean that, but we do try to take care of it right away, and then you could be on hold for 20 minutes, and again, you've turned something that's 5 minutes into 25 minutes, and then if you add any of these other things, they can kind of spiral, and you could be waiting an hour, and and I hate to do that to somebody, because I don't want to sit in a pharmacy for an hour unless I'm working. So I want to thank you guys for listening to Jeff the Pharmacist. If you have any comments, just leave them, and please like and subscribe to my videos.